In 1431, the largest city on Earth simply disappeared. 1 million people gone. The Khmer Empire, rulers of Southeast Asia for 6 centuries, abandoned their capital in a single generation. No invasion, no plague, no natural disaster. They erased themselves from history so completely that when French explorers stumbled upon Angkor Wat in 1860, locals had no memory it ever existed. This is the story of an empire that chose oblivion. At its height, Angkor covered 1,000 square kilometers, larger than modern-day New York City. The Khmer Empire controlled territories from Vietnam to Myanmar. They built the world's most sophisticated hydraulic system, a network of reservoirs and canals that sustained 1 million souls. King Suryavarman II constructed Angkor Wat in the 12th century, the largest religious monument ever built. It required more stone than all the Egyptian pyramids combined. The empire was unstoppable, until it stopped itself. In the late 1300s, something changed. Temple inscriptions, once boastful records of conquest, grew anxious. Kings mentioned great disturbances. Monsoons failed, then flooded catastrophically. The hydraulic system, so perfectly calibrated for centuries, became the empire's enemy. Recent research revealed the shocking truth. Between 1362 and 1392, the empire experienced a megadrought followed by devastating floods. The very infrastructure that sustained 1 million people began destroying itself. Canals silted up. Reservoirs overflowed. Crops failed for decades. But climate doesn't explain what happened next. In 1431, King Burmarakathirat II of Ayutthaya, the rising Thai kingdom, laid siege to Angkor. After 7 months, the Khmer court fled. But here's what historians couldn't explain. They never came back. The empire had survived invasions before. Angkor had been captured and reclaimed multiple times. But this time, King Ponhea Yat moved the capital to Phnom Penh and issued a decree. The old capital would be abandoned forever. Within 50 years, jungle consumed the temples. Royal records, centuries of history, were deliberately destroyed or lost. The Khmer people themselves seemed to develop collective amnesia. When Portuguese traders arrived in the 1500s, Cambodians directed them to Angkor as the work of gods or giants, not their own ancestors. It's as if an entire civilization chose to forget itself. In 2015, archaeologists using LiDAR technology made a disturbing discovery. Beneath the jungle canopy lay the remains of dozens of previously unknown cities. The Khmer hadn't just abandoned Angkor, they'd abandoned an entire urban network spanning thousands of square kilometers. The evidence suggests something unprecedented, a civilization that recognized its own unsustainability. The hydraulic system that enabled their greatness had deforested watersheds, eroded topsoil, and created an ecological trap. They'd engineered themselves into extinction. Rather than adapt, they chose erasure. The temples remained, monuments to hubris, but the people, the knowledge, the very memory, deleted. Today, Angkor Wat stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, visited by millions who marvel at its beauty. But they're walking through a crime scene, evidence of history's most deliberate disappearing act. The Khmer Empire teaches us something terrifying. Civilizations don't always fall dramatically. Sometimes they recognize the abyss, and rather than fight, they step quietly into the dark. No great battle, no final stand, just silence. As we face our own climate crisis, megacities dependent on fragile infrastructure, and ecosystems pushed to collapse, the question isn't whether civilizations can vanish. The question is, will we recognize the edge in time? Or will future explorers find our ruins and wonder why we simply erased ourselves? The empire that erased itself, 1 million people who chose forgetting over failure. The jungle keeps their secret still.